Hello, hello. Welcome to this week's episode of Tracy's Tuesday Talks. I am your hostess, Tracy Latona of Golden Rose Financial Coaching, where I guide growth minded people who are stressed or anxious about finances to conquering their money goals. Today, I'm going to be talking about military and money, the myth between security clearance and credit score. So, my husband is a combat veteran. He did 6 years in the Army. We got married when he was on that 2 week break, also known as R&R, from his first deployment to Afghanistan. And I was very much immersed in the military culture the first 2 years of our marriage. We lived near Fort Bragg, right outside base, and we made a lot of our financial money mistakes in those early years of our marriage and some later on. But that's for another story. Today, I wanted to talk about an issue that had touched our lives, as well as an issue that I have seen several times repeatedly in conversations with military, with veterans. And that is the myth that you need to have a good credit score to be able to have a security clearance. Oh, and I also hear this from private contractors as well who do work for the military. So this is for you guys too. So I've heard time and time again, I need to have a credit card. I need to keep a good credit score. Otherwise, my security clearance is going to be threatened, and I'm going to lose my job. That is not the truth. You do not need a credit score to be able to have a security clearance. You will not lose your security clearance because of a credit score. What they look at is your credit report. So the difference between a credit report and a credit score, the score is that number that tells you how well the debt system tells you how good you are at paying back debt. The credit report is the actual history of money that you've borrowed, how well you've paid it back. Have you made on-time payments? Have you made late payments? How many accounts have you had open in the last 7 years? How many accounts have you closed in the last 7 years? And that is what the adjudicator is looking at when it comes to whether or not they're going to give you a security clearance. This information comes from a document, have it right in front of me, called the Security Executive Agent Directive, also known as SEAD. You know how well the military loves their acronyms. And this is under Guideline F under financial considerations. So the concern that the adjudicator, who is the investigator who basically gives your life a colonoscopy to see whether or not you're worthy of a security clearance, dives into these things when it comes to regarding your finances. So what they're looking for, the concern is failure to live within one's means, to satisfy debts and meet financial obligations may indicate poor self-control, lack of judgment, or an unwillingness to abide by rules and regulations, all of which can raise questions about an individual's reliability, trustworthiness, and ability to protect classified or sensitive information. Jumping down, an individual who is financially overextended is at greater risk of having to engage in illegal or otherwise questionable acts to generate funds. Affluence that cannot be explained by known sources of income is also a security concern insofar as it may result from criminal activity, including espionage. So basically what they're looking at is a couple of different things. Inability to satisfy debts, like can you pay back what you borrowed? Unwillingness to satisfy debts regardless of the ability to do so. So do you have the money in the account to pay it off, but you just refuse to give back the money that you borrowed? A lot of people are doing that with student loans. Oh, yes, I went there. A history of not meeting financial obligations, deceptive or illegal financial practices such as embezzlement, employee theft, check fraud, expense account fraud, mortgage fraud, filing deceptive loans, et cetera, consistent spending beyond one's means or frivolous or irresponsible spending, AKA the $45,000 truck payment on a PFC's uh, salary at 27% interest, which may be indicated by excessive indebtedness, significant negative cash flow, a history of late payments or of non-payments, or other negative financial indicators. So there's several things in here that they're looking at. Mainly what they're looking at is there crazy amounts of debt? Are you paying back the debt? Or is there an influx of unexplained income that could be pointing to illegal activity? None of that has to do with a credit score. That all has to do with the credit report. You do not need to have a credit report or a credit score to have a security clearance. The adjudicator, from my understanding, the investigator will call you on the phone and ask, hey, I see you don't have any credit reports. Tell me more about this. And then you would have the opportunity to say, I don't like debt. I've never borrowed a dime in my life. I don't agree with it. This is a lifestyle that I choose, is to be able to pay for everything that I have in cash up front. And they're going to be like, okay, cool. Just needed to know. And that's what they're going to do. That's the way that it was explained to me. So the correlation between a credit score and security clearance is an absolute myth. They look at your credit reports, they look at your spending habits, they look at your income, and anything that might raise a red flag does not have anything to do with a score. You do not need to have a credit card. You don't need to have the star card. Oh my gosh, the star card. Guys, that was the thing that got us into a lot of trouble. That's what got a lot of our friends in trouble. Everybody had one. It was ridiculous. You could just hand an 18, 19-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid, a credit card and be like, here you go. Use it to build credit. Part of the big things that gets a lot of our military in trouble. All right, guys, if you have any questions on this, please give me a message. Schedule some time through the Calendly link in the comments. If you are on the verge of wanting to make sure that your finances are in order to go in strongly to get a security clearance, or you are in the position where you feel like your security clearance might be at risk, please let's talk. I'd love to help you get your finances in order so that way you can have that financial freedom and not have your finances dictate whether or not you are able to do your job. All right, guys, please like and share this video, share it with your friends, and share it with those who are interested in the security clearance. Thanks so much. Have a blessed day, guys.